Hello, 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 everyone. It is Dr. Sasheen. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time, our tea break at the start of the week before the hump day, but after Monday, because it's usually Monday that has everybody so up in arms and not really feeling like it's been a great week. But it's Tuesday. It's time to take a deep breath, have some tea. I have my tea this morning. I also have my yogurt. And I have my yogurt because I haven't had a chance to eat it. So we're gonna have my yogurt. I like this yogurt. Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Dr. Sasheen. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time. If you've never joined us before, this is a time in the week where we get together. We have some chit chat. Oh, I have tea. You are welcome to drink whatever you'd like. And we have a drama free, crazy free conversation for about 30 minutes just to catch up and to breathe some peace into what has become a fairly raucous life that we've all been living since a certain day, which shall remain nameless. Good morning, Cicely. I texted you back, by the way. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I was going to say I am in love with this yogurt because I have so many things going on early morning. It's hard to, good morning. Um, it's hard to get anything to eat, and I'm not a heavy breakfast eater early in the morning because I just can't. Like, I can't. Like I can do breakfast later in the day. Sorry, my ponytail's coming out. I can do breakfast later in the day, but early in the morning, I can't do like bacon and eggs and stuff. Like I can't do all that. But this has become like my secret weapon. So, in fact, I turned my dad onto it, and I turned my dad onto it, and we both shop at the same place. I take him to, he's a retired um, um, Air Force, and so I take him to the commissary once a week to shop, and they carry it at the commissary, and he will buy all of it off the shelves, y'all. I mean, seriously, just all of it. Telling you, just all of it. So when I can get some, I buy it at the commissary. If not, I'll just buy it at the local grocery store, which also carries it. But I'm telling you, just all of it, just like sweeps it off the shelf into his cart. It's crazy. Anyway, what do you do? He's 81 years old. What do you do? I love breakfast for dinner. Oh, that is the best. To me, that's the best time to have breakfast is for dinner. I could have a full-on spread. And I mean, if I'm gonna have a full-on spread, I want nice eggs, I want some crispy bacon, I want some hash browns or some new potatoes. Bring it all. Bring it all. Anyway, so how's everyone been? I haven't seen you in a while. I had a little bit of a surprise visitor last week, so I wasn't expecting company, and I ended up having it for a few days. So my schedule got pushed off a little bit, but we are back in the saddle again. What's been going on with you? What's been happening in your world? How is life treating you? Um, there's been a lot that has happened since the last time we got together. I feel like it's been weeks, and I guess probably has been weeks. The Oscars happened. I didn't watch in real time, but I caught all of the updates as they were happening on Threads because that's kind of what it's the place to go get live real time updates on things. So I did that. I started a new group over on Facebook called the Writers Room for aspiring fiction writers. It's been my love for years. I do a lot of writing, a lot of writing. But most of my writing work has always been nonfiction, academic nonfiction. And so in my other files on my computer, I have a lot of my unfinished fiction works. So I have decided, since I firmly believe in practicing what I've been preaching and will continue to preach. Y'all are not going to hear the last from me on these things. Um, but it's time to start pursuing some things that I've been putting on the back burner for a while because I don't know if you caught my last my last video that I did, but the quality of life, the quality of time feels like it's changed. And I think some of that, and that's not a conversation that I will regale you with here during this very peace filled situation that we were creating. But I do think it's important that we do pay attention to not just the craziness that's happening, but how time feels now. And for me, at least, and the things that I read and the things that I consume and how I tend to think about things, time feels differently than it has for quite a while. And I think that in some ways that's a really good thing, but in some ways it's a very troubling thing. And so I just feel like it's a good time, hint, hint, a good time to create some lanes for your peace, right? I think it's time to really start honestly asking what are the lanes that I need to be cultivating that are going to move me down the road towards towards the life that I want to see, or keep me on the road of the life that I'm living. I think it's really I think it's that time. The time for planning, I think, has passed. I think planning will always happen. I think planning is a continual thing, right? But I think the time for planning and waiting is done. I think the time for planning and executing is where we are. So all that to say, I started a new Facebook group. It's called the Writers Room for Aspiring Fiction Writers, and I'm working on my own fiction work. So crazy weather in New York. Oh my gosh, ma'am. Now listen, I had to post. I posted. It was 84 degrees last. Was it Wednesday? Might have been Wednesday or Thursday, and then it was snowing by the weekend. Like we went from 84 to snow in like 2, 3 days. It's unreal what is happening weather-wise right now. And it's not, I mean, obviously it's happening up in New York, it's happening down here in the Midwest, it's happening over on the West Coast. It's just crazy. I'm listening to my favorite meteorologist. I follow a couple on YouTube that I try to make sure I stay on top of things because they give me good weather updates. And even they're like, listen, we're gonna tell you what's coming, but we can't. This weather pattern is not normal. And I said to someone, I might have even posted on Facebook, the the the, the earth is going to take care of itself. Like we're just along for the ride. At some point, we have to remember that we are literally not in control of what the earth is going to do with itself. So if there's a great global reset of any kind, right? Any kind at all, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Can't stop it. Might be able to ride it out. But other than that, the earth is going to do exactly what the earth needs to do. And if the earth is tired of doing one thing, it's going to do something else. And the rest of us are just going to go, oh, that's novel. All right. Well, let's see if we can survive that one, right? It's just crazy. So today we're at 27, currently at 27, because not only did we get snow last week, the temperatures plummeted, obviously, to get some snow. And now we're creeping back up again. So we were at like 12 2 days ago, and today we're thinking it's supposed to get to like 42 or something like that. My little thermometer on my phone, I get these little alerts that says the temperature is going to be rising over the next few days. The temperature is going to be cooling over the next few days. My phone is like, listen, don't trust us. Just walk outside, stick your hand out there. Just stick your hand out there, right? 66. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy how much the temperature is fluctuating. And I'm a temperature nut. I like weather. I always have. If I had thought about seriously, I might have gone to school for meteorology because I really do appreciate the weather. We did a lot of work in the garden this weekend. We moved some beds around. We trimmed some trees back so that when they start to bloom again, our poor trees. They're like, do we bloom? Do we not bloom? Is it snowing? Is it 80? Like, what are we doing? So some have started to bloom, but then the blooms are starting to die because it got cold. Listen, we're all in the state of what's happening with the weather. What's happening with the weather? Yes. I can't put my houseplants outside. I would. They want to go outside. They sit in front of this large window, my large double glass doors, waiting patiently for the day when I put them back outside. But I can't because it 1 minute it's 84 and the next minute it's 12 and they'll die. So I can't do it. I just can't do it. I tell you. 60s yesterday, right? And today it's 23. It's just unreal. So yeah, today it's 27. You're supposed to get up to 42 and then climb by Thursday, which is closer to 60s, almost 70s again, but then we're going to drop again. So the other piece to this crazy weather pattern, right, is that knowing how to dress because in the morning it's really cold, by afternoon it's super warm, but overnight it's back to cold again. So my poor child, he's like, "Can I put shorts on?" No, you can't put shorts on. You absolutely cannot. Because I know because we were raised during a time when the weather didn't necessarily go this crazy, but the weather's always been kind of, in the Midwest you can experience four different seasons in a day. Absolutely. This has always been the case. But what we understand is that whether you are experiencing that summer in the morning and winter at night, you dress for winter. You don't dress for the summer. You don't dress for the false summer that comes through or the false spring that comes through for a couple of days. You dress for winter. because winter will sneak right back up on you and lay you down. Right? It'll put you in bed with a serious case of the flu if you're not careful. So, though we are getting these wild swings, we're still dressing like it's winter around here. I have on a turtleneck, I have on a mock neck sweater dress, I have on my socks. So it's teaching my child how to anticipate the weather, and part of that is you have to dress for the season that you're in, not the season that's pretending to happen outside. Not that one, because that one will get you very sick, very, very, very sick. Um, we're surviving. Yeah, plants are resilient, though I don't know that my succulents would appreciate if I put them outside at 84 and then all of a sudden it's 12. I think they would protest loudly. So, I have been loving my new paper planner. I wanted to bring that up for those of you who've been on the fence about whether or not you should adopt some non um, internet based things in our lives. Hey, Michelle, you're not late. We're just hanging out. Carolyn and Cicely and I were just hanging. If you've been wondering how it's going, I have to say, adopting a paper planner has been super wonderful. Super, super wonderful. First of all, I've started doodling more, which I don't know that I ever needed to stop that, but when you have electronic everything, you don't have any place to doodle when you're thinking about something. You don't have any place to make a quick note because an e-note is just not the same. It's not the same, right? So I went out to what I realized is I'm gonna need a bigger planner. This is great for the easing back in, but I'm gonna need a bigger planner. But did I mention that this one has pockets? I've forgotten how nice it is to have things that I can just like all this loose paper that I'm forever writing little notes on before I went back to a planner. I now just put in the little pockets. I literally just put them in the little pockets, and now I know exactly where they are, which was great because I have to get a bunch of stuff together for taxes. And I was like, oh yeah, what did I do with all that stuff? Right. But okay, so the reason I bring that up is because I do find, or I am finding that number one, I need a bigger planner. I need a bigger planner. That's just crazy. Which is weird because I was thinking I would never go back to one of those huge half the desk planner, but I'm gonna need something a little bigger. And I was talking to a friend of mine who also has gone back to a paper planner, and she was saying the same thing. That now that she's gone back to the paper planner, she realizes how much more room she has to expand on things in the moment, and she's writing things down with depth more. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like the notes on my calendar. So for instance, I'm in book club. So I've got my book club dates out, and then I have in the margins various things that we've read. And then when I got to remember it, it's right there. It's right there. Hang on, y'all are talking. The young people today do not wear coats. They don't. They don't. My son is not that. Like, he will wear a coat. He even runs hot and he will wear a coat because unfortunately, he was very sick when he was younger. So we were constantly like colds were colds were just a bad scene in my house. So he does not want to catch a cold. He is hardcore. I don't want to be sick. So if I say, he will ask me, do I need to bring a jacket? Because is it a little bit chilly? Yes. Why don't you just bring a jacket in case you get chilly? Right? Like, he's like that. But you're right. I will see people rolling around in shorts in 25-degree weather. And it's because, well, it was 85 2 days ago because we have not passed down the weather knowledge that says, yes, it was 85 2 days ago, but 85 in January isn't the same quality of air as 85 in June. And you got to dress for 85 in January and put your coat on, put some pants on. And don't call me in a week telling me how sick you are. I deal with it with my college students all the time. Some things are moving back to analog, and I love it. I obviously, we're never going to move completely back to an analog world. Absolutely not. And I don't know that we should. But I think AI is really getting a lot of people thinking about how they can detach themselves from so many things being connected to each other. I was I know I posted this on Facebook because I want Facebook to hear me and Google to hear me when I say it. But I was looking, I did a Google search for contacts. I was running out of contacts, and I was trying to decide where to get them from. I was like, if I was going to just order them through my doctor's office, like I normally did, or if I was going to try another service. Something something cheaper to save a little money, or get them here faster. And so I happened to type into Firefox, not Google, not Chrome, not Edge. I don't use any of those. I type into Firefox, or contact lenses or 1-800 contact, something like that. And then I decided against it and went with my doctor's office because, I believe in paying for my time and convenience. And so they're like, listen, we can get them to you 7 days. Here's the discount you get with your insurance, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you can do it the other way, but we've got the system set up for you. So, and you know what? I'm to save $5. I'm not going to do that. To me, that's a waste of my time, and I value my time way more. So I go into Firefox, and I did the search, and then I didn't think another thing about it. I went into Facebook, not out on YouTube, no place else. I go into Facebook to check on my feed and to post some things. And in my feed, all of a sudden, are all of these ads for 1-800 contacts, for contact lens companies, for all of these contact lens services. And I was like, how in the hell did you hear? Because they're talking to each other. How did you hear my Firefox search on my computer? On my phone, I went into Facebook, not on my computer. And so I started digging. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense because I, okay, so that was in Facebook. So then I go out into YouTube and I'm watching a video and a commercial pops up for 1-800 contacts. And I'm just flabbergasted because, see, I have all that stuff turned off on my computer and my phone so that they don't talk, so they don't listen to each other. Right. So what I realized two things. Number one, I have a Pixel phone. I have a Google Pixel, whatever the version is. I have a Google phone. I like the Pixel phone. It's a really great phone. It's been a really great phone for me ever since I started using them about 5 years ago. They're really good phones. But they listen. Even when I turn off everything, they still listen. I realized they were still listening because one of the features that I like about it is that if I'm out somewhere or if in the car and a song is playing, it'll tell me what the song is on the lock screen. It'll just tell you what song is playing. I think most phones do that, but what that reminds me of is that, oh, my phone is listening. Here's the key. I wasn't talking about 1-800 contacts at all. I wasn't on the phone. I was on the computer. But Firefox has several different ways that you can access the internet. If you go into Firefox and you click on the button in the search bar, it drops down. And usually I reset that to DuckDuckGo because I know that's private and it doesn't track. I forgot to set it to DuckDuckGo, so I was actually searching in Google. And because all of my Google accounts are attached, it showed up in my Facebook, it showed up in my YouTube. It 1-800 contacts is still showing up. So, all that to say, going a little Luddite is looking more and more pleasant these days because this is just contact lenses. And we know that every device that we have is listening to us. We know that already, right? We've given our devices permission to listen. They track where we are for the weather. They track where we are for GPS. They listen to tell us what song is playing on the radio, right? Like it's not, we're not talking about going back to the time before there was no connection, but it is fascinating and a little frightening to think about how much information is being gleaned inside our homes when we think we are operating in the private. And I do think it's something to be concerned about. So I've made sure that my default settings in Firefox are DuckDuckGo and not Google because I ran an experiment. I looked for something else in Firefox and I made sure to reset it to DuckDuckGo and I didn't get an ad for anything that I've searched for. Nothing at all. Not a blessed thing. So I do remember like, okay, I have Google in so many areas and I'm connected in so many areas through the Google interface, YouTube, Google search, Google logins, my StreamYard. I sign in via Google. YouTube, I sign in via Google. Canva, I sign into so many things with my Google password. And somewhere in those terms of services, it must say that this one thing opens up everything and you have to go in and physically shut things down, right? Or else it just keeps listening to you. So it is, like I said, it was a fascinating experiment to see how far, where, to try to ferret out what was happening. And then, like I said, a little frightening because that means this is being listened to, which obviously this is being listened to because I sign into StreamYard with my Google account, right? And I'm not saying anything that they care about, but I do think when you've turned off certain things, only to see ad targeting still show up, not because Facebook picked it up, but because Google picked it up and you log into Facebook with Google, and then you realize there's just no separation with these companies. There's no room between Alphabet and Meta. They might be two separate companies, but they're just like this. So I know that's kind of heavy, but I did want to point that out. I think it's important for us to remember that a lot of our devices are listening to us. Our houses are listening to us. Okay, yeah, I'm talking. Hang on. I had a similar situation. I was having an in-person conversation. Yes, yes, Carolyn. Yes, yes, Carolyn. Yes. Speaking of which, can you and I get together and chat again? Um, yes, yes, yes. I have found that if I am not careful, I will find if I use Google for anything, my ads immediately start showing up for that thing. That word or phrase or person just starts popping up all over the place. And it's not right. Like it isn't right to be listened to at all times. I have an expectation of privacy inside my home. And yet I've brought these devices, and it isn't even the devices. It's the apps on the devices because this is just a hunk of right? Like this is just a hunk of electronics. Ones and zeros is what's listening to me. The device isn't listening to me. It's the ones and zeros and the apps that are listening to me. Um, Newer model cars are straight up computers. Yeah. That, honestly, after 2015, maybe the 2015 models, maybe 2000, somewhere in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, early, that there was a time when you could get your car work done without a computer needing to be plugged into it. Once that happened, where you'd have to plug in the computer in order to find out what was wrong with the car, it's all over but the shouting, right? It's all over because if you can't plug the car in to figure out what's wrong with it, you can't fix the car. That's when we gave over the cars to being, in essence, what the phones now are, right? Just which is just a massive computer. It just so happens that one has an engine. So, um, Amazon Echo. I don't use Amazon Echo, but thank you for that. For those of you who might use Amazon Echo. Oh, I've never even heard of Amazon Echo. There's so many apps out there. Okay, you should delete your recordings. So if you use Amazon Echo, delete your recordings. The device records random snippets when you're not talking to it. Whew. See, this is why we have to protect our moat, right? This is why the moat around our piece has to get bigger. We have to start putting some more space between us and everything else. And I'm not talking about becoming hermits because I like community. I'm trying to build community and make places where community flourishes. But I don't want to be spied on all the time, right? I don't want to be spied on all the time. Not that I think they're going to come knocking on my door, but let's be realistic. I don't need for you to listen to what I'm having for dinner tonight. That's not your business. I don't need for my refrigerator to make my grocery list based on me walking through the house, having had a random conversation, and all of a sudden my refrigerator is making a list because it's listening to me, right? It's listening to me. Oh, good. Let's chat again. I like that. um, your phone's digital footprint can even determine exactly how you on a second. Oh, and we're back. All right. I learned a lot going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out why I was seeing 1-800 contacts everywhere. And I'm going to keep saying, yeah, I just came back. So if you freeze, just give it a second. For some reason, we went away and now we're back again as we're talking about creating a bigger moat around our lives and taking maybe some of the digital tentacles out, digital hooks out of our lives, right? So if you're frozen, if I'm freezing for you, I should be back because I'm back. I blipped out for just a second. So let me know when you all can see me again. I'll keep I'll keep talking at you and waving at you and to see if we come back. And if we're still frozen, if I'm still frozen for you all, then I'll have to log out and come back. But I'm back. It's telling me that I'm back. Um, oh, okay. Okay. All right, I'm back. I did freeze for a moment, or at least the screen blacked out for a moment, so I am back. Um, okay, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the party. Well, YouTube 2U272. You know, this is a place we just kind of hang out and chit chat about things that are important to us that allow us to make our lives better and more peaceful. Because around here we protect our peace. Our peace is non-negotiable. Rule number one. Oh, hang on. According to retired NYPD, I'm putting you on the screen, ma'am. Car detective said that cars automatically download your phone even if not paired to your car. It can tell people how many people, it can tell even how many people are in the car. See, I drive an older car. I drive an older model car. Um, so it doesn't have all those bells and whistles. It doesn't have I mean, I can do certain things. I can get Wi-Fi hotspot in it. I have all the backup cameras, but I don't have any of that. So my car is really old, but you know what? It's paid for, and it's paid for, and it's paid for, and it still runs. Uh, and it's on that cusp of models that weren't all tied into the computer. So if I take my car and you can still plug it in, but everything you can actually still go in and just fix some things. Anyway, I don't like the fact that everything in every new car that if I have to rent a car for something, I need a bigger car for something. Everything is electronic. Like everything, you can use your thumbprint you can use your fingerprints to sign in. The car will. I love that it remembers who sat there, but that's also data. And who needs all this data? Who needs all this data? And you realize it's just data to sell. It's just data to sell. Most of this information is designed to figure out how better to sell us more stuff. That's all. So, is that nefarious? Absolutely. Is it an invasion of privacy? Absolutely. Is all of it some plot to overthrow the man? No, some of it is strictly a marketing issue. It's just like um trying to track our grocery habits by forcing us into those grocery cards, those little things that we swipe at the grocery store. That's data. Tells people how much you've spent, what your buying patterns are, so they can target you when you go shopping. It's just everywhere now. Now it used to be in just a few places where you got targeted, but because and I'm gonna say it, because we weren't paying attention. We weren't paying attention. Ease came with a little swipe of a card, and I get these coupons. Like CVS is a master at this, right? Like CVS is like, swipe that little card. Not only will we give you a receipt that literally could paper an entire house, we will give you smart bucks and extra bucks to come back and spend on the stuff that you're already spending. So we love that. But then things like 1-800 contacts happens when you're not even in Facebook. You're not even in YouTube. You're not even in anything that should be caring about what you said, but what you said has ended up all over your ad feed, and you know that you didn't put it there. And that to me is concerning. I know, getting too heavy for Tuesday tea time, but I think it's important. I think it's really important. And the car thing, so on the one hand, you think, well, in an accident, that's perfect to know who was in the car and where were they sitting. But on the other hand, it's just, why do you need to know how many people are in my car? Why do you need to know who was sitting where? And who gets that information? And what do they get to do with it? That's what I would like to know. Right? So targeted ads are one thing. They're intrusive. Absolutely. They're annoying. But what is the point? If I didn't go looking, if I hadn't gone looking for 1-800 contacts or a way to get contact lenses sent to me, I would have no targeted ads. But because I'm sitting in my house and I happen to go on the computer and I do a search, that does not give companies the right to then target me on platforms I didn't even use. That's what really bothers me. Like, I didn't use those platforms to look for this information. I just did an internet search on contact lenses. But every other platform heard or bought, which leads me down the next rabbit hole of, so how many of these things are tracking me? And what is it that you want? Oh, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Convenience has led to freely giving of our information. It really has. It started so long ago. The idea that we could be, sorry guys, I know this is loud. I'm trying to stir my yogurt because it separated. The idea that we could be convenient but still free, I think was the myth, right? If you just give us a little bit of information, it won't cost you anything. It's for, and we've heard it. Like if you wander around college campuses when they're hawking their wares, if you give us your name and email address, you don't have to, you don't have to sign up for anything. Just in exchange for this free thing, this convenient thing, just give us your name. Just give us your email address. Just give us a little bitty piece of your of your identity, and then you can have this free bag, free swag, free pizza, free, grocery card. And we did. I learned that info from the true crime community. Yeah. Yeah, the true crime community will teach you a thing or two. It's a little more than I can handle. But they will definitely teach you a thing or two about a thing or two. So, anyway, all that to say, I'll wrap this up by saying I was having a conversation with my kiddo yesterday. No, not yesterday. A couple days ago. And I said, "Go look it up." I said something. We were talking about something, and I said, "Well, go look it up." And he whips out his phone because he was going to look it up. And I said, "No, go look it up." And he looked at me and he's like, "Mom." And I said, "Go look it up. You have you have multiple dictionaries, you have multiple science books, you have all this stuff at your disposal. Go look it up." I could just type it into the phone. No, go. So I was like, listen, the ability to understand and ferret out information is not one that everybody has. Like, not everybody can do it. Not everybody knows how to do it. It's not something that we teach anymore in schools. I'm a teacher. I'm telling you that we don't. It's not something that that people understand the value in anymore. But I am telling you, being able to tap the screen to find information is a skill anyone can do. Understanding how to find information outside of that phone is an asset that will serve you for the rest of your life. So I made him go look it up. I made him go look it up. And he was just like, he's only 13. He's like, I don't understand why this is such a big deal. But I know that the skill of research and understanding where information comes from, what is verifiable information, what is vetted information, what is real information is going to become more and more important to that generation and to us. So I told him to put his phone down and go look it up. To go get the dictionary because we were talking about how it was just a crazy question. How many pounds were in a ton? And I was like, well, go look it up. And he's like, well, I could just get on my phone. I'm like, no, no, no. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to go look up the word ton in the dictionary. And then they're going to tell you how many pounds are in a ton in the dictionary. And then you're going to come back and look at that question and you're going to have your answer. And it's going to take you 5 minutes. And he's like, well, I could do it on my phone in 30 seconds. And I said, yes, but you will have learned nothing. You'll have learned nothing. But in the 5 minutes it takes you to go ferret the information out of a book, you will have learned three separate things. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? See, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Listen, we are on. I am talking to you via StreamYard on you in YouTube, right? And I'm telling you, I was looking in Firefox and I was having 1-800 contacts ads showing up all of a sudden. And they were not just, it wasn't just like one, because I wouldn't have noticed one or two, right? No, my feed is full of these ads now on Facebook, on YouTube. on Threads. And I was just like, okay, that's not random. Like, that is deliberate targeting and it is out of control because I'm seeing them everywhere. Y'all, I done bought them contacts and moved on, and I'm still getting these ads. All right, so that's my Black Mirror story. The 1-800 contacts and the push to find places in your life to unplug. I think it's important that we find places in our life that we can unplug, especially in the age where everything is now not proven true because we have some contextual grounding, because we know that we've read the book, we've seen it, we were there when it happened. Now it's true just because it was said on the internet. I think we gotta pull back a little, or maybe pull forward, because I think it could be a pulling forward into a different age of saying, well, everything doesn't actually have to be online. Everything doesn't have to be plugged in. It would be funny if it wasn't so ominous, because again, I have all ad targeting on every platform turned off, and yet I'm getting ads on every platform targeted at something that I searched for on the internet. So targeting, turning it off, apparently it doesn't work anymore, or not the way it was supposed to. So, and what it also reminds us is that all of the major companies are talking to each other. So be careful out there in them streets. When we step outside of our castle of peace, which we're getting ready to do because it's almost that time, I have to get back to work. But when we step outside, just remember, apparently everybody's listening to what you're doing. Because as Caroline pointed out, she was having a conversation, and all of a sudden a word that shouldn't have even been in the ether, that she used in a conversation face to face, is showing up on her phone. So I'm sticking with DuckDuckGo. I love DuckDuckGo. Um, I remember I'm gonna date myself. I used to use Ask Jeeves years ago, right? Like there are other ways to get your information without being plugged into the matrix, completely plugged into the matrix. And as much as I use Google, I do use Google. I'm on YouTube. Like Alphabet and me have been like this. It is time for us to be a little bit more like this. It's time for us to be a little bit more like this. So yeah, we're never gonna go back. Oh, look, don't make fun of me. I used to use Ask Jeeves. Come on now. I'm dating myself, but that's the thing about it. We didn't always rely on the internet for everything, right? Because the technology wasn't available, first of all. And second of all, we didn't need to. So anyway, I got to get moving because I have to finish work. I have a contract that I'm working on. I'm doing an audiobook and my voice needs to get back to the audiobook reading. But thank you all for indulging my paranoia with the 1-800 context conversation. I hope it has at least made you laugh and did not make you scared, because I don't want you to be scared. But I do want you to think about where you're plugged in and maybe where you can unplug a little bit, hopefully, to get a sense of security back. Because I think it really is about personal security and being able to say with a straight face that your house is still yours and that everybody's not listening. And on that note, I will see you all on Thursday for the next video drop. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with me. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment, and share, and I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.